Hello, I am Professor Waghmode here, working as assistant professor in agronomy department. Today we can see in detail, that is principles and methods of weed management and the integrated weed management. First of all, we can see the what are the principles and the methods of weed management. That is first one preventive measure. In preventive measure, that is they are aim of preventing introduction and spreading of or the spread of specific weed species in areas where that are not currently infested with these plant species. Then in this preventive measure, the weed no weed control program can be successful if the adequate preventive measures are not taken in to minimize the weed infestation. The introduction of weeds in crop fields can be prevented by using weed-free crop seeds and the seedlings, then not using fresh or the partially decomposed or the compost, and the proper cleaning of farm machinery before moving from infested to clean area, then keeping the irrigation and the drainage channels free from weeds, and the following the legal and quarantine measures to check the interstate and inter-country movement of the noxious weeds. These are the preventive measures. Second principle, that is eradication. In eradication, it refers that given weed species, its seeds and vegetative parts has been killed or completely removed from a given area, and that the weeds will not be reappear unless an reintroduction to area. This may be desirable and economical when the weed species is extremely noxious and persistent as to make their croppings difficult, especially uneconomical. An eradication of the perennial weeds can be accomplished in one season or the year, as viable seeds and the underground plant parts or the propagules may remain dormant in soil for the year. Then underground plant parts can be destroyed by tillage or by means of the translocated herbicides. These are the two major principles. And third one, that is control methods. The process of minimizing the crop field from weed infestation for the remuneration crop production is called as the weed control. Then it aims at limiting unwanted plant growth both in space and time without any attempt to eliminate the from the sense. Then also to extent to which the weed growth is desirable to be limited depends on the cost of weed control and the expected benefits. The weed control methods can be broadly grouped into the cultural or mechanical, chemical, and the biological methods. First one, the cultural methods. In cultural methods of the weed control can also be divided into the different, that is as a mechanical and crop management method. That is first one, mechanical method. That is mechanical or physical methods are being employed even since man has begun to grow the crop. That is first mechanical or the in cultural method, that is hand hoeing. That is, hand hoe has been simplest weeding tool for the centuries. Hoeing is particularly effective for control of the annual and biennial weeds growth. Can be completely destroyed. And second, that is hand pulling. It is a physical removal or pulling out of the weed by hand. It is effective against annual and biennial weeds. Then tillage, that is incorporation or burial of the small annual weeds under the soil with the tillage implements, and disruption of any intimate contact between the weed plant and the soil for the water and nutrient, and injury of the root and stem of the weed leading to their reduce the weed growth. Then next method, that is digging. It is very useful for removal of control of the underground propagating parts of the perennial weeds for the different layers from the different layers of the soil. Then silking, the sickling by the hand is used to remove the top weed growth, also prevent the weed seed production and store the underground parts. Next mechanical method, that is burning. It is economical and simple means of weed control. The fire is used to burn the crop residues and the weeds after harvest of the crops like sugarcane, cotton, potato, and the maize. And when burning is used for the control, the selective control of annual broadleaf weeds and the grasses, is widely spaced crop rows. Is also known as the flame cultivation. And the flooding, where infested field is also plowed with deep and flooded with 20 to 20 30 centimeter standing water for 5 to 10 weeks. Then next one, the mulching. It has the smothering effect on weeds by restricting the photosynthesis. The mulching is effective for control of the annual and the some perennial weeds. Then soil solarization. The high soil temperature can suppress the weeds germination and kill the weed seedlings, During the process of heating, soil surface term as the solarization. During soil solarization, temperature is increased around 50 degrees Celsius. The next is proper plant stand. That is, optimum plant stand should be maintained for the preventing the growth of weeds, and then especially leguminous or the pulse crops they plays an important role to uh, uh, keep the field weed free. That is acts as a biological control for the as a bioagent for control of the biological plant, considered as biological plant, or gives the smother effect, or as a cover crop it helps to control the weeds. Then crop rotation. In a crop rotation, especially the legume followed by cereal rotation systems helpful for the to keep the field weed free condition. And the stage seedbed, it is one of the one where the initial 2 to 3 flushes of the weeds can be controlled destroyed before the planting of the next crop. Then intercropping, that is in intercropping system there is a simultaneously growing of 2 or more crops on the same piece of land over the same period of time, helpful for the control of the weeds. That is due to diversification of the crops, it will be helpful for the control of the weeds. Then next method, there is chemical method. That is use of chemicals for the control of weeds, especially there is a great potential in crop production, as the chemical weed control functions on the basis that certain chemicals are capable of killing some plants without significantly affecting its growth. Such chemicals are called as the herbicides. The advantages of chemical weed control, that is most effective compared with the other methods of weed control, then highly suitable for the close space crops, then suitable for the adverse soil and climatic conditions, then provides early season or 0-day weed control and reduce the need for the repeated cultural practices or the operations, then control even mini perennial weeds. These are the advantages of chemical weed control. We can see the next one, that is the uh, mechanical methods of weed control. That is as we seen in detail. That is, you can see the photographs. That is hand hoeing in between the rows of the crops, in between the standing crop. Then hand pulling, that directly uprooting the weeds present in the field. Then digging by with the help of spade or the kudri, and the sickling with the help of there is the sickle they can control the growth of above ground weeds. Then also the burning, that is directly burn the weeds which where the weeds are heavily infested. Then flooding is very simple and easy method for control of the perennial weeds, especially cyanidodactylon and the that is really. And then mulching is very effective, that is organic or the plastic mulch will be effective for the control of the weeds. These are the examples or the methods of mechanical or cultural methods of weed management. And next one, the chemical method, that is spraying with the pump or with the spraying of the herbicide in between the rows as the selective herbicides, and also the wastelands. Then next method, that is biological method. It involves the utilization of natural living organisms, that is biogens, such as insects, pathogens, or competitive plant to limit the or control the growth of weeds or weed infestation. The objective of biological weed control are not eradication but reduction and regulation of the weed population below the level of economy injury, as the bioagent may be either specific or the non-specific. Specific bioagent attacks only one or two weed species, while the non-specific bioagent feed upon the variety of vegetation. The specific bioagent includes the primarily insects and plant pathogens. The choice of pests and pathogens should meet the important criteria, that is host specificity, then fast damaging ability, then ability to new environment, or adaptability to new environment, in fasting ability for long period during the periods of declining weed population, efficient reproduction, then freedom from the natural enemies. These are the important criteria should be studied before the choice of either by pest or the pathogens are used for the control as a biological control of the weeds. Here we can see the specific bioagents are used for the control of the weeds. That is first one, water hyacinth, that is Neochatina echuardia, that is hyacinth weevil are used for the control of water hyacinth. Then water fern, cryptobagus species, that is Cuculini noid weevil are used for the control of water fern. Then agulator weed, Alligator weed has been can be controlled by flea beetle, that is Agassiz hygrophila. Then prickly pear weed can be controlled by Dactylopius tomentosus, that is scale insect. Then lantana camera, that is Crocidosema lantani, that is moth. Then Parthenium by Zygogramma bicolorata, that is Mexican beetle. These are the ideal biogens are used for the control of the major weeds. You can see their photographs, that is biological weeds are the biogens for weed management. That is first one, that is Zygogramma bicolorata for the Parthenium. Then Neochatina ichornia, that is for control of water hyacinth. And the Cryptobagus species, that is prickly pear weeds. Then Agassiz hygrophila. And then Crocidosema lantani for the control of the lantana camera, that is Ghaneri, and Dactylopius tomentosus. These are the some important biogens for control of the weeds. Next concept, the point, that is bioherbicide. The bioherbicide is the plant pathogens are used for the control of weeds through the application of weeds inoculant. That is, you can see the table, that is different bioherbicides are the product of bioherbicide, and for control of specific weed, that is divine is the bioherbicide which can be used for control of the stranglevine in the citrus orchard. Then colego, that is for control of joint venge. Then bipolaris, that is for control of Johnson grass. Then biolophus, it is non-specific for the general. This is used for general vegetation. These are the ideal examples of bioherbicides for control of the weeds. You can see in detail in colego, that is colego trichum gliosporoids, that is should be developed in USA in 1983. This is used as a dry powder formulation. Fungus forms special penetration structures that are punched by the plant cuticle, which is essential for plant infection. It causes lethal stem and the foliage blight in the host, newly registered under the trade name, that is lockdown and the lockdown retro. That is this colego can be used for the control of the joint wedge weed. That is, you can see here photographs, that is joint wedge stem infected with the Coleotrichum gliosporoids, sporoids with the help of the colego. Next one, the colego bioherbicide can be also used for control of the target weed species, that is a Isochnomine Virginia Nica, and the name of microbes are used for this colego, that is Colegotrichum gliosporoids. Next one, divine. This is also ideal example of bioherbicide, that is and be developed by Phytophthora palmivora, that is in US in 1981, and this is the facultative parasite that produces lethal root and collar rot in the host, and it is used as a liquid suspension formulation. And this divine bioherbicide are used for control of the stranglevine, that is Botaniculum morenia odorata, then commonly found in the citrus orchard. Then next one, the another, that is bioherbicides, they divine and then colego. Then you can see the last point, that is IWM, integrated weed management. This is integrated weed management is an approach to managing the weeds using multiple control tools or tactiles. That purpose of the weed or the purpose of the IWM is to include many methods in growing season to allow producers the best chance to control the troublesome weeds. Then IWM is also means to integrating the multiple weed control practices into the single weed management program, optimizing control of a particular weed problem. In the past several decades have been simplified weed control practices that are really heavily on a few popular herbicides. However, the rapid spread of the herbicide resistance has to be required for farmers to incorporate alternate weed management approaches. While many of the farmers incorporating different herbicides, this is likely to have only short-term success. Using non-herbicide approach is also combination with multiple effective sites of action is needed for the long-term success. That is the IWM. Next one, why the IWM is necessary? That is, it might be better first discussion by weed control is necessary, as the weed negatively impact on the crop yields, interfere with many crop production practices, and weed seeds can also contaminate grain. Based on the national research, corn and soybean yield can be reduced by approximately 50% without the weed control practices. The herbicide application is main weed control strategy use. Reliance on this method has led to the development of herbicide-resistant weed. There are a limited number of herbicides available in use, and cases of herbicide resistance are rapidly increasing in the US. As a result of herbicide are need to be extra help to control or continue to ensure the adequate weed control. But the IWM tactics has span a wide range of options and the complexity. Many of IWM tactics can be integrated without substantial changes to current management programs, while other requires more extensive planning and implementation. And some options are easier to implement include equipment cleaning, timely scouting, then alternating herbicide tank mixes, then other expensive options including changing crop rotation, cover cropping, changing tillage practices, and harvest time, weed seed control. This is the why the IWM is necessary. And next last point, that is advantages of IWM. By using the several techniques to control the weeds, you reduce the chance that the weed species will adapt to control technique, which is likely if the one technique is used. For example, if the herbicide is used over a long period of time, weed species can build a resistance to chemical. A long-term integrated weed management plan that considers all available management practice or control techniques or tools to control the weeds can also be developed for a particular area. And any IWM plan or strategy should focus on the most economical and effective control of weeds, and also include the ecological consideration. The long-term approach of IWM should be reduce the extent of weed and reduce the weeds seed stock in the soil, and it should be considered how to achieve the goal without degrading the desirable qualities of land, such as the native ecology or the agriculture crops. This is today's topic about the uh, methods of weed management, that is the principles and methods of weed management and the integrated weed management, that is IW. Thank you.